My name is Cassie and I'm the founder of FatCo, where we use these guys to make this stuff. Let me explain. At FatCo, we specialize in making natural and organic skin and body care products, many of which contain tallow. It's nutrient dense and healing. It's extremely high in vitamins A, D, K, and E, all super important for skin health. It's natural, it's healthy, and it's sustainable.
That people are saying, oh yeah, when you're finals MVP, you are now the best player on the planet. To me, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all gotta start appreciating. And you gotta stop disrespecting this man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Prideful Takes podcast. As always, it's the ugliest motherfucker on the internet, Pride, joined by Chris. Gonzo, how you feeling, my guy?
I'm feeling pretty good. Been watching a good afternoon of fights here with Bellator.
Yeah.
Getting ready for NBA playoffs tonight.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll watch the Reds probably lose again, but I think they're going to be on rain delay for a little while.
Dog, I feel so bad for Reds fans. I really do.
They're starting petitions. They want the owner to sell so somebody will buy the team. They'll spend some money.
Yeah. Honestly, I the sad part about it is, like, let's say ownership decided to spend money. Who would they go get?
Yeah.
That's the sad part, because like, we just had the craziest free agent market ever.
They let too many people go off last year's team. Too much pitching and
way too much.
And a lot of hitting.
And
then the manager, they got to get a new manager. He left
David Bell.
Left Hunter Green out there yesterday to give up 5 home runs in 3 innings. Come on now. You see you don't have it. Get him out of there.
I don't know.
You can run your own pitchers that way.
I know, but I would have done the same. I would have left him in there. Because listen, that's a veteran right there. Yeah. So that's a guy that you can. I'm just saying that's a guy I would say, look, ride it out. Get yourself out of it.
Because he had some first 2 games, he was throwing in the 100 or higher. Last 3 starts, he's been at 96. Oh my God.
Yep.
He's lost some velocity for some reason. Something's not right.
A lot. Like, the fastest pitch I think he threw was like 97. I think is when he peaked.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, like you said, the dude was out here ripping 101 effortlessly, it looked like.
Last 3 starts he hasn't had it. I don't know what's wrong.
I don't know what it is. It could be
the Reds' defense is terrible. They make little league plays.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's why. And if I'm mistaken, isn't this like the worst start in franchise history or something like that?
Yep. And then yesterday they lost their 13th road game in a row. That's their worst start on the road since 1933. They won 3 games.
Then the Phillies choked a 7-1 lead in the last inning. God bless Philadelphia, by the way.
Won 3 games so far. They're going to be. They might just set the record for the least amount of wins in a season this year.
I would go for it. Why not? Let's make history.
One month in, we're already out. We're not going to go nowhere. So
right, yeah.
We make the playoffs.
Right.
You're like 13 games back.
Yeah. So listen, go make history. But we got a packed show for you guys. The 4 playoff games that we have coming on, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. We're going to talk about those. And tomorrow night, UFC 274, headlined by Charles "I Can't Wait" Oliveira against Justin. This is going to be my final opportunity, Gaethje. See what happens with them. Plus, Thug Rose Namajunas is going to defend her women's strawweight title against Carla Cookie Monster Esparza. I don't care what gender you are. If I lose to someone named Cookie Monster, I'm retiring.
I was gonna say that has to be one of the worst nicknames for an MMA fighter ever.
100%. Like I remember, I was talking to one of my friends.
Other than
we were talking
Andre Philly, the Andre Touchy Philly or whatever. That
yeah. Like, he was like, we were talking about like people with nicknames who, if they beat you, you would have to retire. And I said, look, John Jones, if he has the nickname the Tickler, I don't care how great he is. If I lose to him, I quit. Okay.
Yeah.
If Alexander Gustafsson calls himself like hee hee ha ha or something like that, I'm quitting. Like, I think Cookie Monster is one of those. I think if you lose someone in Cookie Monster, you gotta retire. And it's a shame too, because Carla Esparza is a war. She's a banger. She can fight.
She's improved so much too since
Oh
she
my
first came on the
God.
Ultimate Fighter.
What? Oh my God. She looks completely different. But again, Cookie Monster. So, if you lose, you gotta retire. But also Mauricio Shogun, who was gonna be on there, facing OSP, the same OSP who gave John Jones some trouble all those years ago. All those years, way back in the land before time. Before we get to there, start with NBA playoffs. Yesterday, there was no games. I was just confused. I really was. What confused me was the Celtics. We get like the Celtics and the Bucks and the Warriors and Grizzlies get this long rest period.
I didn't understand why they got an extra day compared to everybody else.
And I'm like, and again, I'm a Celtics fan, but that confused me because I'm like, of all the teams in the NBA, I feel like Philly, or in the playoffs, I think Philly would have needed that extra day for Joel Embiid. So why? That perplexed me.
Yeah, because I thought there was going to be games last night, and then I got on and I was like, "Wait a minute, there's no games tonight." And I looked,
Right.
And then I thought, okay, if there's no games, that means the Bucks and Celtics are going to play Friday
Today. Yeah.
and the other ones play Saturday. But no, that was reverse.
It's so bizarre. I looked into it and everything. Turns out this was a schedule they were going to do the whole time. So it's not like anything changed. This is what they were going to do. But I don't know. I just wanted to say that it was weird. And again, I'm a Celtics fan. But for us to get that extra day of rest, especially when there's a team like, I don't know, like Philly, maybe Dallas could have used an extra day to kind of
might have helped Marcus Smart a little bit, but he was already planning on playing anyway.
Exactly. I was about to say, like, that extra day doesn't really help us that much because Marcus Smart was going to play game 3 anyway. So
the extra day could really help Philly with Embiid.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Like I said, there's one team in the playoffs that needs it. It was Philly who would need it. But let's start with this first game. Chris, you said this is your favorite series. This is the matchup you're looking forward to. The Miami Heat will travel to Philadelphia to play the 76ers. Who do you think gets the win?
I think the Heat get the win, even if Embiid does play tonight. I don't think he's going to play, just from what the reports I've heard about his eyes still being sensitive to light. And if you've ever had a concussion, they're tricky to come back from. I hope to see him play so we can maybe have a better series. But if he don't play, I don't think there's any way the Sixers beat the Heat because James Harden isn't showing up. He's going to get you 16 points and maybe 7 or 8 assists, but he's not going to get you 30 points, 35 points like he used to be able to.
If he can do that for just one game, if you can do this for literally just one game, like let this sink in. Ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes for 1 second. This is how low the ceiling has now came for James Harden. If you could be great for just one game, let that sink in. This is a guy who was a superstar, who was supposed to make the Brooklyn Nets unbeatable, who was supposed to bring the Philadelphia 76ers to a whole nother level. We are now asking this guy, a former MVP, a former franchise player, we're asking for this guy to have one great game. Do you know how bad that is? What a fall from grace. Frankie goes, Miami will win, but they're still fucking ass. 110%, bro. They'll go up 3-0 and B comes back and 76ers win the series 4-3. That's how ass Miami really is. And the sad part about it, it's because they can't guard Joel Embiid. You got no one who can guard Joel Embiid. You know? But man, like Chris, how bad is it how bad we're looking at James Harden? That all we're hoping is you can give us one game where you drop 28. This is a guy who back in the olden days, bro, back then, you know what I mean? Back when dinosaurs came, like we're talking about him like he's like Udonis Haslam's age, and the guy is not even that old. How bad and how bad of a situation is Philly in that you are scared to rely on James Harden just for one game?
Oh yeah, Harden's days of getting max contracts are definitely over. This dude, he's fell quick. Because like you said, just 3 years ago, he was in Houston and balling, and then he left there, went to where'd he get traded to and forced his way out of there? Brooklyn.
Old Brooklyn.
After he forced his way out of Houston, went to Brooklyn. Now he's got out of there. I think he got out of there a lot because of Kyrie, but that's just, I don't think him and Kyrie and, ain't even Durant, I don't think they were seeing eye to eye on stuff. And looked like a good decision because the Bucks didn't go nowhere, or the Nets didn't go anywhere anyway. But the Sixers, man, it's bad because where's Harden going to go from here? The Sixers, with this contract, they'll probably have to use him again next season. But after that, who's going to sign him to a deal other than maybe he's going to turn into a bench player?
I was about to say, I'll be honest. I do think he starts. I'll be honest with you. I do think he starts in some places. But
if he wants to contend,
I think right. I think at this point he's a superstar in name only. I think how we're gonna be looking at James Harden is just, look, we like you, you're a cool dude, but let's just call it what it is, bro. You're just not it right now, and that's just done. Listen, I feel like I'm being a little too hard on James Harden.
Not being aggressive either.
No,
but he's not even looking to score.
No, because what I'm starting to see with James Harden, he sees the moment. The moment is too big for him, and he now knows. It's almost as if every time he sees the moment, he sees his series against the Spurs. He sees his the 2 games he had without Chris Paul against Golden State. He sees what his performance against the Clippers. He sees that all of that, it goes in his mind, and then he panics. He doesn't know what to do. And it's a shame too.
Confidence.
Rest. And the sad part about it is, like, I think where he's at at this point of his career, he can go and find his confidence. I don't think it matters. I really do. I don't think it matters. I think he's in this awkward situation where he's screwed. He's screwed. He's gonna get that. He's gonna opt in, get the last year of his contract. After that, bro, maybe there'll be a team that'll reach. Maybe. But, dude, you're not getting it, bro. Frankie says, Klay Thompson is the Westbrook in this series versus Grizzlies. I said what I said, and I meant it. Dude, Klay is like Shaq from 3-point line this series. It is abysmal, bro. The dude is just like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's a basketball player or if he's a volunteer trying to build houses for the poor. The amount of bricks this dude is giving Golden State right now is wild, especially if you consider if Klay is just a portion of what he really was. Now, he doesn't have to be Klay Thompson. He can just be Thompson, right? Golden State is probably not only 2-0, but both wins are double digits. But Memphis in 7. But I think we both agree. Well, actually, no. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Philly. You're
going with Philly this series?
I'm going with Philly. No, 100%. Bro, listen. Miami could be up 4-0. I still won't trust them. I cannot. trust this team. I've called this, in my opinion, this series is the battle of the untrustables. I don't trust Miami, and I don't know if I trust James Harden anymore. So I don't really know. So it's like, yeah, I'm telling you right now, man. If my guy Joel Embiid comes back, bro, that's 4 straight that Philly could win. Because on this soft team that has no interior presence,
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is averaging 30 easily. Easily, he's averaging 30. Like, Frankie says he got hyped on game 1 win with the final defense. He didn't even do shit. Ja forced that layup. He thinks he stopped it. Hey, Clay, your ass. Fuck Clay, man.
He hasn't been the same since he came back. That's for sure.
Chris, did I tell you how much I hate Golden State, or how much I hate Steph Curry?
Oh no.
Oh, just you wait, brother. Just you wait. We'll get there in a minute. We'll get there in a minute. Next game that's gonna happen tomorrow. The Suns will travel to Dallas, Texas, to play the Mavs. Phoenix leads the series 2-0. Chris, I think we both agree that the Phoenix Suns are gonna win. I think you and I both agree here. Here's the question: is it a sweep or is it 5 games? I think it's gonna be 5. I think Luka can make something happen and get them, and get them a win. Are you on my side here, or do you think it won't matter? It's just going to be a sweep.
I think it's going to go at least 5 games. I do, because I think Doncic is going to win at least. They're going to win at least one of these games in Dallas.
Right. Yeah.
I really do. And I mean, if you look on, if you go by numbers, Dallas is 4-1 their last 5 games as home underdogs. So,
yep.
I mean, they do good. They play well at home. So I look for them to at least win one here in Dallas.
Yeah,
I don't think they have enough to beat the Suns in a 7-game series just because Doncic don't have enough help.
Right.
He's doing everything.
Yeah, I'm with you right there, bro. I really am. I do think it's a situation where it's the Dallas Lucas at this point, bro. The Dallas Doncic is like,
I don't think he's going to stay there too long if they don't start.
I said the same thing. I think eventually there's going to be a point where Luka's like, look, you guys are trying everything you can, but it's to a point where it's like, it's not enough. I just got to go elsewhere. Like, and I really believe that. I think by next year, we're going to start hearing some inklings that Luka's going to be unhappy. And it sucks because he just signed that huge extension. But the thing is, when that extension runs out, Luka will still, I don't even think he'll even be in his prime.
And that was one of the big reasons they got rid of Carlisle last year, was because him and Luka wouldn't get along.
Heads. Right. So now you got a new head coach. You tried it with Kristaps, it didn't work. You trade Kristaps for Spencer Dinwiddie. That's not working right now, which is insane because Spencer Dinwiddie can't do absolutely dog water right now, bro.
Brunson's not playing good at all either.
Right. Brunson had a great series against the Jazz. Now all of a sudden the dude is playing like a Jazz. It's insane right now, bro. Like, dog, it's insane.
I think that's why Dallas will win at least one game, because I don't think they'll play that bad at home. Both games at home. I think they'll at least win one of them because of that. Because you can't play that bad 4 games straight.
No way. You better not.
No, I mean, not if you're wanting to.
You better not. As an organization, excuse me, as an organization that wants to keep Luka, no, you can't. Yeah. You can't do that.
No, because you go get swept, man. Luka's not going to stay around too long.
It's going to be insane. Frankie says freestyle far more like Freaky Friday. Yeah. You already know, bro. Oh, man. I look at Luka the same I look at Jokic. I understand you're going to lose. Just lose in 5. Don't get swept. If you lose in 5, nobody was going to bother you. Just don't get swept. The next game, it's going to happen tomorrow. Celtics at Bucks. I think you already know where I'm going with this. Celtics winning by double digits. Yeah. I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. This right here is a very pivotal game because I was talking to Dustin. He said basically, well, I think it was like over if whoever wins game 2 wins the series. Oh, I'm sorry, game 3. When the series is tied and they win game 3, whoever wins game 3 wins the series over 70% of the time. But that's not the reason why I'm not even ignoring. I'm ignoring that. The reason why I think this game is going to be extremely critical and extremely pivotal. And Chris, obviously, I'm going to give you the floor so that way, if you disagree with me, you can let me know. But game 1, the Milwaukee Bucks dominated the Boston Celtics in every way imaginable to get a 1-0 lead. All the experts were saying the Celtics are going to get swept. They're not going to win a game. Milwaukee's just a better team. All that stuff, right? Here comes game 2, where now it's the opposite. The Boston Celtics dominated the Milwaukee Bucks every way imaginable. And then everyone was like, maybe we're too hard on the Celtics. So I think coming into game 3, the Bucks want to prove game 1 is the reality, that we're just that much better. And I think the Celtics want to prove that game 2 is the reality and that they're that much better. Whenever a team blow each other out like that, game 3 is usually the pivotal game where whoever wins that one not only has the momentum, not only has the morale boosted, but will win the series. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think the Celtics win this game. And I'll be honest with you, when I was first breaking down these games, because I do my sports betting show.
Yeah.
And I was breaking down the games for tomorrow, which I put my picks out for tomorrow in the morning. At first, I had the Bucks winning, but the more I looked at the game, I end up going with the Celtics to win this game for a couple of reasons. One, the Celtics have been great as road dogs. They're 5-0 their last 5 as road dogs.
Yep.
And the Bucks are 1-5 their last 6 home games. So the Bucks haven't played lights out at home. And the Celtics, I think this is going to be a lower scoring game than what the first 2 games were. I think it's going to be more of a defensive battle, and I think the Celtics are going to be able to stop the Bucks more than the Bucks will be able to stop the Celtics. I think the Celtics are going to get this win tonight or tomorrow night. I mean,
you have a fan who wants to see your chest. Frankie's demanding that you show him your chest. So just know if you're just minding your business and all of a sudden you hear "show me your chest," don't panic. It's just Frankie for some unknown reason wanting to see your chest. We will, Frankie, why you want to see it, we don't know. But you know what? No judgment here. No judgment at all. Look, for me, there's a lot of stuff that is going to have to factor into this win. Obviously, we know the coaching, it being at home.
Do you think it'll be a lower scoring game than the first 2 since they've
No.
or it could be a higher scoring too, because I don't think one team's going to shoot great and the other team shoot terrible. That's what's happened in 2 games. I think that's even out more.
I think the Celtics shoot at about. I think the Celtics shoot at a higher percentage, probably about like 1, maybe 2% higher. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be like Celtics shot like 33%, or I think game 2 the Bucks shot, I think it was like 43 or something like that, like the low 40s. So I don't think it'll be like that. I think it'll be like 49-47. 48-46 or 46-47, something where, like I said, I think it'll be within 2%.
That's what I think. I think it's going to be more balanced out than what it was the first 2 games.
Right. Yeah, I do think so. I think the same, but I will say this: the Celtics are showing you that not only can Giannis be stopped, but we're starting to expose him a lot. Game 1, he shot 36% from the floor. Game 2, he shot 40. Shot 40, right? And for all the people that are saying, oh, look what else he did. Yeah, again, game 1, you had to rely on the Celtics missing wide open shots. Let's just call it what it is. You had to hope and pray that not only our 2 best players were cold, but everybody was basically cold. And Give me 1 second real quick. Okay, so Ryan Bader won. Okay. No, I was just checking because Ryan Bader won via unanimous decision. Which
Yeah, I was waiting for him to show who won.
yeah, he won. Yep, he won via unanimous decisions now.
Congo's
Solid fight.
getting up there in age.
Who?
Congo.
Oh yeah, Chuck Congo. Oh, his old self. Yeah, his old self. I think I was
honestly, the only reason he's fighting is because they're in France.
Just gotta show my chest. That's right. I'm about that business. Frankie says Celtics in 6, and I listen. I think Celtics are gonna win in 6. I really do. But again, if you need a hope for the Celtics to shoot 33% from the floor for you to win, come on. Let me just put it. If you have to hope for any team to shoot 33% from the floor for the entire series for you to win, you're screwed.
Well, then, and something else people aren't realizing when you look at the numbers of that in Game 2, the Bucks shot a better percentage from the floor than what the Celtics did. The Celtics shot a better percentage from 3-point range.
Yeah,
but from the floor, the Bucks shot better than the Celtics did. So it wasn't like when everybody said, "Oh yeah, the Celtics shot lights out." Yeah, they did, but it wasn't like they shot that much better than the Bucks. It was just they were hitting the threes,
right? By the way, Frankie, Charles Oliveira, we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about that because we're gonna be breaking down that entire card. So, but yeah, we're gonna. But before that, Grizzlies at Warriors. I have Memphis in 7. I think Memphis wins tonight. Tomorrow. I basically think they're gonna split the series, or they're gonna split it here 2-2. So that way, but by the time we get to Game 6, it's gonna be 2-2. Game 5, I'm sorry. Game 5, 2-2. I was doing the math. I was like, hold on now. I'm off it. By the way, this is how much I hate Steph Curry. I have an unreal hatred for Steph Curry. I hope that the next time he writes his name, he misspells it. And I hope he wrote it with pen, so he has to go get white out. He has to white it out, and he has to wait for it to dry before we can rewrite his name. Okay? I hate him. Okay? I hope he finds shoes in his favorite color, and they're out of stock. That's the type of hatred I have for Steph Curry. That's it. I hope when he goes into the bathroom to, take a bath and just alleviate himself from a long day, I hope it's not hot enough for there to be steam in the bathroom. I just want mild inconvenience for the guy. That is the amount of hatred I have for Steph Curry. I hope the next time he goes out to a restaurant, he wants a steak medium and he gets it medium well. Slight inconveniences I want for this guy. That's the type of hatred I have for Steph. Now, I don't want nothing bad happening to him, right? I want him to be. I don't want him to break a leg or anything like that. I wish nothing bad upon his children or his wife or anything like that. You know what I mean? I just hope that one day his kid actually calls him Stephanie. Like, that's it. Like, I want mild inconvenience for this man. That's the type of hatred I have for him. Really is. Matter of fact, I hope he has a perfect game. Like, I hope Game 3 he has a perfect game, right? I hope he goes 20 for 20 from the floor. Okay. There's like 1 second left. He's got the ball in his hands, right? And then he goes to hit the game winner, and I hope that's the only shot he misses. That's the hatred I have for this dude. Again, please, be healthy, do all that stuff, no problem. But I just hope the next time that he smiles, it's an ugly smile, and and people take pictures of it. I don't care. I don't like it. I got Grizzlies winning tomorrow night. You agree with me?
I don't know if they'll win. I have still have the Warriors winning this series. I said 6 at the beginning. Now I'm thinking it's going to go 7 because what's worrying me is that losing Gary Payton II for the Warriors is going to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the only one they have that's had any success trying to guard Morant this season, really. and losing him is going to be a big. I think it's going to be a big deal. So I'm worried about the Warriors. I can't believe the sports books have the Warriors as 7-point favorites in tomorrow night's game.
Which
So
I don't understand that at all.
Actually, in my picks, I gave out. I took the Grizzlies plus the 7 points because even if the Grizzlies lose, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be by seven or more points.
No,
it's going to be a close game.
This game right here or this series, no one's getting blown out. That's just my opinion. Pause.
That's how I feel about it. So
yeah,
I
no
feel
one's
like the Grizzlies plus 7 was the pick I'm giving out tomorrow. It's like 7 points. I don't understand that line at all.
Neither do I. I mean, I'm assuming. The only thing I'm assuming is they're basically hedging their bets that Clay's gonna have a great night tomorrow. That's basically the only excuse I could think that you'll be able to tell me for it to make sense, because given how Clay's been playing,
you think Peyton being out is going to be a big deal?
Massive deal, massive, because people don't understand he only had one job, and that was to play defense on John Morant. That's it. It's like if you can give us 10 points, cool, fine, whatever. By the way, Rob, what it do, baby?
Hey, what's up, Rob?
If you can give us some points, great, cool, whatever. But your job is to just run around. You're on him, and you're stuck with him no matter what. That's it.
Be a pest.
Exactly. Like you're focusing solely on him. The problem now is Jordan Poole has to play on him. So now that kind of puts an awkward situation where now you need Clay to be Clay again.
Yeah, because Poole might not have the same offensive presence with having to expend that much energy on defense.
All that energy on defense? No, he's not going to be able to.
And Clay's not the guy defensively he used to be, but
that's the thing. Yeah,
where he can guard Ja the whole game.
Right, like that's the thing. Like where Clay is at right now, I wouldn't be comfortable putting him on Ja the whole game.
So they have to put it between him and
unless they split it.
That's
unless they split it.
Poole, I would say.
Yeah, I would split between him and Poole, and then when you want Poole to kind of take over, you know what I mean, have the ball in his hands, and you put Clay on him, you know. But that's probably something you can consider doing. That's probably.
I think it's going to be a big deal because he's the only one that's really had any success trying to guard Morant.
To be honest, and on top of that, like a lot of their guards aren't defenders. Let's be honest here. He really, I mean, listen, I like Jordan Poole, but he's not a defender. Now, I give him credit because he tries. At the bare minimum, Jordan Poole attempts to play defense. So, okay, cool. But he's not exactly a defender. Steph, we know Steph ain't a defender. So it's like, he was the only one who truly could guard guys.
And Clay hasn't been the defender he used to be since he's been back.
Exactly. So, Zoinks, Rob says Warriors in 5. Keep that energy, bro. Keep the energy.
I'm still sticking with the Warriors, but I got 7. Just because I chose the Warriors to begin with, so I'm not going to flip flop. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm worried about it after Peyton getting hurt.
I hope Steph.
And we've been talking about Klay Thompson's not shooting great. Steph Curry hasn't been shooting great
either.
In the first 2 games of this series either.
Nope. Definitely not. It's definitely not as bad as Klay. No, but it ain't Steph Curry like, which is a shame. Which I think. Listen, I'm not worried about Steph. I think Steph snaps out of it because I think he'll have
you see him have a game or 2 where he's off and then boom he
right and then he goes back right. My true concern is Klay. That's my concern because ever since he came back, he's been inconsistent.
The other thing I'm concerned about in this game is the referees. Their whistles are going. They're going to be calling every little thing because of how chippy last game got.
Right.
They're not going to let them play like they've been letting them play. I think there's going to be a bunch.
At least
in the first quarter.
Right, but at least they've been consistent with it.
Yeah. I think this game is going to be worse so because of
definitely they're going to want to stop it.
Yeah, because they want to stop it. I like when they let them play. Let them play. I don't like the referees to be deciding who wins the game with some petty whistles. But the NBA, after players getting hurt and stuff, they're going to be cracking down on that.
Definitely. And then Rob says Steph hasn't really shot that well since he broke the record. Yeah, he broke the record, and all of a sudden basketball is just kind of not his thing anymore. So we'll see though. I'm I'm interested to see, because like I said, for me personally, I'm not worried about Steph. I'm more worried about Clay. Clay's the one I'm more worried about. So, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah, so my little girl's like climbing up and like jumping. So
Oh, I remember those days.
yeah, and like I would try to tell her to stop, but I get no respect. So, but tomorrow, UFC 274. Chris, we were talking about this earlier. It's a solid card. This is a solid card. I liked it. It tickles me in the right way. Starting off with the opening bout is going to be a lightweight bout. Donald Cerrone is coming in at a minus 180 favorite. Will be facing off Joe Lozon, who's a plus 155 underdog. Who you got here?
Well, real quick, Woj is reporting that Embiid is going to play tonight.
You said what?
Woj is reporting that Embiid likely to return tonight. So I would say Embiid's
Whoa!
probably going to play.
Whoa! Hold on! You said what?
Yep. They're saying, hey, Woj dropped the bomb. He's saying Embiid's playing. He just said it on the NBA countdown.
Whoa!
But back,
Whoa! Whoa!
so that makes that game a little more interesting.
Ow! Ow! Easy. Too easy. Philly and 6. Get out of here. Philly and 6.
I like
Cowboy
Cerrone
versus Lozon.
I like Cerrone in this fight, but I've been a Cowboy fan forever. The only thing that does worry me about in this fight a lot with Cerrone is he hasn't fought at this weight in 6 years. So this is that weight cut. How that weight cut going to affect him? But I think Cerrone has a little bit more power in the zone, and I think Cerrone's going to win the fight. But the weight cut does kind of scare me since he hasn't fought this weight in 6 years.
I'm going Joe Lozon. And the only reason I'm going with him is like you said, Cowboy is a welterweight. It's been 6 long years since he's been here.
Yeah.
Especially now, and we got to remember, this is not a Donald Cerrone this ain't a prime Cowboy anymore.
No.
This is a Cowboy towards the end of his career. So I think you get that. But he's like on a 2-3 fight losing streak right now?
He's actually 0-4 with 1 no contest in his last 5.
So even worse, right?
Lazone is 2-3 in his last 5.
Right, which right again, I don't know who I would trust, but again,
neither one of these guys are still in their prime, you know
right?
I mean?
But my thing is, if you're looking at 2 guys, I'm going with the guy who's at least fighting at his comfortable weight. This is Joe Lozon's weight class. He's comfortable here. It's been like you said, 6 years, 6 years, and now you want to cut weight.
Go with Cerrone because I'm a big Cerrone guy,
Right.
but the weight that weight
listen,
cut does scare me a lot. That's why I said I can't be mad if somebody says Lazone's going to win this
Right.
fight. And you get good value at plus 155.
Right.
I mean, if you're a gambler, you get good value with taking Lazone.
Right. And the thing is, if you want Donald Cerrone, like if this was at welterweight, we have a whole nother conversation. Again, it's only because he's got to cut the weight. That's the only concern I have. Hopefully it proves me wrong because I like Cowboy. I really do. I want him to ride off in the sunset, no pun intended, with a win. Next fight is going to be a light heavyweight bout. Mauricio Shogun Hua, who's a plus 195 underdog against Ovin St. Pierre, or Peru, my bad, OSP at a minus 240 underdog, or favorite. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole in terms of betting.
Oh, no, I wouldn't put money on it, though.
No.
I think St. Preux wins, but I wouldn't put money on it.
I'm with OSP right here. This is the same OSP who all those years ago gave John Jones a little bit of trouble.
He beat Rua back in 2014 as well.
Right. So I think this is their second time fighting. I think OSP handles his business. For me, this is just a fight. Listen, if you want to put $5 down on Shogun, whatever, cool. I'm not touching this though. I'm not touching this. This is not worth it, in my opinion.
Well, it's just two older guys, and I think St. Preux has a little more left than what Rua does. That's
To
why
be
I
honest.
St. Preux, but yeah, I'm not. This ain't one I'd be confident enough on to put money on.
Right. Now, the next fight. This one is very intriguing. It's a lightweight bout. Number 5 ranked Michael Chandler, who's a minus 365 favorite, against El Kukui, 7th ranked Tony Ferguson. I spelled it wrong. He's a plus 280 underdog. Me personally, I don't think Tony Ferguson has it anymore.
I don't either.
I think
Chandler wins this fight. Ferguson's last 2 fights, he's looked. I hate to say, he's looked old. He's looked like almost a shell of himself his last 2 fights, and a lot of it, I think, yeah, he always does a lot of damage in his fights, but he takes a lot of damage in his fights, and I think that's caught up to him. Because his last few fights, he hasn't looked the same. He's looked old, and it sucks because I loved watching Ferguson fight, but I think Chandler's going to be too much for him.
it's hilarious because we forget he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's insane. It's wild. It's crazy. The way I look at it, and again, I like Tony Ferguson, but I don't think he's got it. I think he's at this part of his career where, and honestly, I would say, frankly, maybe it's just me, but I've been saying this for a while. Like, he needs to just retire.
I've said it since his last, about 2 fights ago.
After he lost to Gaethje, because that looked horrible. That loss looked horrible. I was like, nope, go, just retire.
Hopefully he don't do like BJ Penn did and just keep trying to fight, keep fighting, and keep fighting.
No, yeah, I hope he doesn't.
You've had too great of a career. Let people remember you as that, not remember you as going out there when you shouldn't be out there.
Right. And that's just, again, that's just me. Like, I got Michael Chandler first round knockout.
And UFC kind of done Ferguson wrong, I thought, because he could never get that title fight when he was on that win streak, and then
But it wasn't his fault though.
Yeah,
it wasn't his fault because it was just this dude. Habib was always getting hurt and pulling out.
Yep.
So, I just saw a meme. It said Charles Oliveira. You watch wrestling, right? Yeah, you do. You watch.
Yeah.
It said Charles Oliveira missed weight, and it says Conor McGregor, and then the meme is Seth Rollins cashing in his Money in the Bank contract at WrestleMania, and it's just him running down at Mania, just cashing it in, just running down. Oh man, I love it here, man. I love it here. But yeah, nah, man. Look, I got Michael Chandler.
Yeah, that's who I have too.
Yeah. Next one, the co-main women's strawweight champion, Thug Rose Namajunas, Thug Rose, against number 2 ranked Carla Cookie Monster Esparza. Namajunas is a minus 210 favorite. Esparza is a plus 175 underdog. Maybe I'm crazy. I think Carla Esparza has an actual legitimate chance.
Oh yeah, I think she has a chance. I think Namajunas is going to win, and the reason I think Namajunas is going to win is because it's going to be on their feet striking. I think she's the better striker than Esparza. Plus, Namajunas is good off her back, and Esparza is a wrestler. She wants to get you down, do that ground and pound.
Right.
That's gonna be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see if she can get that takedown and be able to control Rose on the ground for a round or two. I could see her winning this fight, but I like Namajunas basically because I just think she's more comfortable on the feet with the striking. Esparza's improved a lot on her striking, though. I mean, when she first came in the UFC, I remember when these two were in the Ultimate Fighter years ago. Esparza didn't have hardly no striking at all. She looks a lot better now than she did. I think Namajunas' improvement on her striking has been pretty good as well.
I'm gonna go Rose Namajunas. I do believe that in that rematch, Zhang Weili won. I thought she beat Rose Namajunas.
I did too.
I saw a very timid Thug Rose. I saw a very nervous, playing it safe Rose Namajunas, and I didn't like that at all. Yeah, I fear she might come out with that same mentality and that same vibe against Carla Esparza. I really am scared, but I'm gonna go with Thug Rose. But if you're feeling risky, if you're feeling it, taking Carla Esparza with the under,
Yeah, I mean, because that's not you're getting
Not
good
bad.
value.
you really are solid. So, and now the main event. It was supposed to be for the lightweight championship. Charles Oliveira weighed in at 155 and 1/2 pounds. Had an hour to cut the weight and didn't. So the champion, has missed weight. In case those of you who don't know what that means, the lightweight title is now vacated. Charles Oliveira has been stripped of it. So he's not the champ anymore. If he wins, the title is vacated. There's no champion. If Justin Gaethje wins, then he gets the title. So, okay.
These UFC rules are kind of out there to me.
So before we get into Charles Oliveira missing weight, who you got here, Oliveira or Gaethje?
I have Gaethje winning this fight, and this was before I knew Oliveira missed weight. And that even if he had that much trouble cutting weight, that even worries me a little bit about Oliveira now. But I didn't know that before. I think Gaethje on his feet was going to be able to hurt Oliveira, and Gaethje's not bad on the ground either. He has pretty good grappling. But yeah, I just favored Gaethje in this fight. Other than one thing that did worry me, Gaethje's not good off his back. So if Oliveira could get a takedown and get on top, I think Oliveira is in a big advantage there. But I like Gaethje to win this fight, and then finding out he didn't make weight even made me feel a little better about it, because if he had that much trouble cutting weight, how's he going to feel tomorrow night?
Yeah, so originally I had Charles Oliveira winning. But now at this point, I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje. Charles Oliveira really has no incentive to win. There's nothing there for him to want to win, to care about winning. So that automatically puts him at a disadvantage. So I think Justin Gaethje does get this win. Let me ask you something. We are kind of in a situation now where Dana White is now letting guys just walk away, no problem. If he doesn't want you there, he'll let you know, right? Francis Ngannou is one of them, right? Ngannou, when he in his win over Cyril Gane, refused to put the belt around Ngannou. Okay. This is also a Charles Oliveira that the company almost released before all of a sudden he was able to get it together. Do you think this is the end of Charles Oliveira in the UFC?
I don't know. I think he'll fight maybe another fight just because he sells tickets. And who else? They really don't have nobody else at the top of that division right now, because Habib retired. You have Gaethje, Ferguson starting to get older. You have Chandler, but is Chandler going to beat Gaethje or Oliveira? Maybe on one of his best days, but I mean, I don't know. I think Oliveira will get another fight, but I do agree with you. He's getting on thin ice with the UFC. But man, the UFC weight rules don't make no sense. Why does everybody on the card but the championship fights get a pound? If you're gonna give a pound allowance, give it to everybody, or don't give it to nobody. So all the fighters that fight tomorrow night got a pound, except for the four fighters in the championship fights. They had to make exact weight. But I hear people saying Oliveira, there's no way he tried, because if he couldn't lose a half pound in an hour, he was probably too dehydrated. If you've never tried to cut weight before, I've wrestled before, and I've got to where you get to where you can't sweat no more.
Nope.
So when you're losing weight like that, all you're doing is getting the water out of your body.
Right.
And once you get it all out, you can't sweat no more. You're done. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I missed weight by like 0.1 one time in high school because I was stupid and was over like 10 pounds a day before the meet. That was my own fault, but
Right.
I didn't get to wrestle over 0.1. So I mean, I understand not letting them. I understand losing the title, but I just think if you're going to give a pound, give it to everybody, because this kind of affects, if you're the UFC, it kind of affects your card going into this great pay-per-view. Instead of talking about the fight, we're talking about him missing weight.
Right. And it really is a very unfortunate situation where either A, don't give a pound to anybody, or B, give it to everyone. And that's fine. Like, again, me personally, if you want to give like a pound where it's like, okay, you never know. Because honestly, it's smart. Because now there's rumors going around that the actual scale was basically a heavy scale, meaning it added more weight. That's why it's always a good idea to make sure that's why it's a good idea to have that pound thing in case there's a problem with the equipment. You have that pound.
See, in wrestling, our rule of thumb was you always wanted to be at least a half pound under on our scale, because you didn't know, because you don't know what the other scale is going to do. So you wanted to have that about half pound leeway, because every scale isn't the same.
Nope. So per the UFC, if Oliveira wins, he'll be the #1 contender for the vacant lightweight championship and will fight the next challenger for the undisputed title belt at a time and place to be determined. So basically, Charles Oliveira is fighting to be the #1 contender. Right. He basically gets first dibs at the vacant title, and it'll be him against whoever they want, whether it's a rematch with Dustin Poirier, whether they want to give it to Islam Makhachev, Neil Darush. Maybe a lot of people are worried that Conor McGregor is going to come back and get that. Like, so I guess it gives you something to, for Charles Oliveira to incentivize him. Here's my concern, though. At some point, you need to look at Charles Oliveira and say, bro, you need to move up in weight, because this isn't the first time. He's always had a problem. And it looked like he was good, but man, this is insane. At some point, you just gotta, bro. Like, it's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, and I'm not saying nothing bad about him, because cutting weight's tough. I know it's no fun at all. But if you're trying to, when you're trying to lose too much, and it's like, why put yourself through that? You're going to be just as healthy going in, moving up a weight class, and being able to.
And my thing is,
in your body, you're going to perform better.
And my thing is, I don't mind you cutting that weight if you can. If you can't, if it gets to a point where you're at 155, like that's where you're supposed to be at. You're fighting at 55. You're at 155.5, and you can't cut that half a pound.
Yeah, it's time to move up a weight class.
It's time to move up, because a lot of guys, what they do, they're welterweights, right? But what they do, like, for instance, like, I don't care what anyone says, Dustin Poirier is a welterweight. You can fight at welterweight.
Yeah.
What he does, he cuts the weight so that way, heading into the lightweight fight, he can balloon up again.
Yep.
And that's fine, and it works if you can cut the weight and if you can make 55. The problem with Charles Oliveira, he can't make 55 consistently enough.
Oh, and when they're cutting that weight, all they're doing is like the week before they're going to try to lose the weight, they're just basically drinking nothing but water. So they get a bunch of water in your system, and then you're just trying to sweat it all out.
Right.
I mean, and eventually you get to a point where you like I said, you don't sweat no more, so you're done. He had to get to that point to not be able to lose a half pound in an hour.
Yep. 100%. So, but again, it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. But again, for that main event, if Justin Gaethje wins, he's the undisputed lightweight champion. Charles Oliveira wins, not only is the title, he becomes the #1 contender, and the title is still vacant. So let's see what happens there. But Chris, thank you for joining me. Again, where can the people find you?
You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room, or on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Everything's at Gonzo Sports Room. We're going to be doing a live watch along tomorrow night for the UFC on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So come join us for that. I think Pride's going to jump on with us for a little while. So
yes, sir.
Should be a great night of fights. I'm ready for it.
Yes, sir. And again,
it's some good fights on the prelims. So man,
yes, sir. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. we're talking about earlier, some of these fights on the prelims and early prelims look pretty good. But for Chris, it's at Gonzo Sports Room, GONZO SPORTSROOM. It's your boy Pride on behalf of Chris. I'll be back here on Monday, and again tomorrow I will be joining him, Chris, for the watch along of UFC 274. But on behalf of Chris, it's your boy Pride. I'll be back here on Monday. Chris, thank you for being here. Everyone else, thank you for watching and listening. Until then, y'all know what to do. Be safe.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read. Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the 2 on the season.
2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone.
2-2. Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go.
Did several of those inside low kicks.